Voting is a right that people in today's society do not take advantage of. They take for granted all of the courageous individuals in the past that have put their lives on the line for equal rights. People need to vote in order to express their views and contribute to the election of our leaders. In a lot of cases nowadays, the people that do not vote are the individuals that are most opinionated towards the world's current issues. More individuals need to learn what the different views mean in order to make an educated decision when voting. People need to vote to help make a difference and have a chance for their views to be expressed openly and clearly. Voting has been happening in the United States since the passing of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. According to usfca.edu, at that time only white males of 21 years old and owned land were allowed to vote. It wasn't until 1870 that all men 21 years old and owned land regarding of their race or ethnic background were allowed the right to vote. The 19th Amendment gave women that were 21 years old the ability to vote as long so that means that there was 150 years in between the passing of the Constitution and where anyone 21 years or older that owned land were able to vote. In 1971, Congress decided to lower the voting age from 21 years old to 18 years old. They believed that individuals were old enough to come up with their own decisions on who they wanted to lead today's society. To me, voting is not just a right that has been made available to citizens of the United States, but is a privilege that should be taken advantage of. According to Census.gov, during the 2004 and 2008 elections, only 63% of all registered voters actually made it to the polls to cast the ballot. Even though it's a bit more than the 59% that showed up to vote during the 1996 and 2000 elections, it is still an improvement. I don't believe that it is enough to make a majority decision for the rest of the country, so something needs to change. To me, there should be a lot more votes needed to make the right decision and represent people. We're extremely lucky to have the chance to vote and not be told. There are many nations around the world that are not allowed to make their own decisions, and we need to take advantage of it. One problem that I see as a relatively new voter is the lack of individuals that actually know what the different parties stand for. A lot of young people see their parents vote for a certain candidate or see them vote for a party more often, and they feel that they need to be a part of that party in order to fit in. Frankly, that is wrong. They need to make their own decisions and come up with their own identity in politics, and they can even start their own trend in their family to who they need to vote for. What I'm asking you to do today is take advantage of this right and go out and vote in the next election. If you do not vote, your views will not be expressed. I agree it does feel like one vote does not actually make that big of a difference, but it actually does, especially when millions of people around the world feel the same way as you do and do not vote because they don't see it makes that big of a difference. It can make a big difference. If we can just get another 25% of the voters to actually get out in the polls to vote, it would make a huge difference. From my stats above, there in the 63% that actually voted, that means there's only around 30% that was required to get a majority vote. If we can get more people out there, it would bring more to vote, and it would take more to get a majority vote, and that would have a better view of what the country actually wants in their candidate. There have been so many advances to give everyone the chance to vote, and people need to take advantage of it better. In the United States, we have a big advantage in that we're not told what to do, but we get to decide our fate and our society's leaders. There needs to be better education so more people can understand all the differences, and people need to create their own views to decide the possible candidates to help the rest of society make the right decision and who will represent them for the next few years as their leader and represent them in the next few years around the world. So what I'm asking you to do is get out there and vote and make a difference.